Put down that smartphone and listen to me. I'm Matthew Milligan, professional musician and lifelong Weird Al fan. Each week, I'm joined by professional podcaster and close personal friend Matt Kelly to take a dive off the deep end into the vast career of pop culture icon Weird Al Yankovic on our show, Weird Algorithm. Along with some very special guests from the worlds of music and comedy, we tackle every song, every television appearance, and every bit of sketch comedy Al has produced in chronological order, covering the good old days of My Bologna and Eat It, the fun zone of tacky and white and nerdy, and everything in between. As we go, we're ranking the songs, albums, and music videos in the hopes of creating the ultimate guide to a career bigger than the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota. So the next time you're having one of those days, stuck in a traffic jam, wondering why does this always happen to me, just kick off your sneakers and stick around for a while because we've got it all on Weird Algorithm, available wherever you get your podcasts. And now you know. Was that enough references?
Are you a fan of young adult novels?
Have you ever wondered the stories behind the people who wrote your favorite young adult novels?
Then join author Eric J. Brown
And Alyssa Lube of Netflix's The Circle.
every other Tuesday on YAOK.
Available on all podcasting apps.
Woo!
We're making an ad.
Napping
Yeah.
ad.
This is where I think if we're doing it right, Alec Baldwin comes in. He says a couple things. He listens to the podcast every week.
Yep.
Has he been canceled? Wait, is Alec Baldwin the one who killed somebody? I hear that Gary Sinise is free.
Oh, okay, great.
He hasn't worked since 2020.
So, what would be the script that we would have Gary Sinise say for the Napping Through Happy Hour podcast?
Listen to this damn show. Damn it.
The Napping Through Happy Hour podcast brought to you by Geekscape.
Real life, real drama, real time.
I'm Gary Sinise.
That's the ad. That's the ad. That's the ad.
Welcome to another episode of American Proteus. No, we are Horror Movie Night. We are here to talk about the movie Proteus, as picked.
Hardly notice.
As picked by Scott. Scott, this was like a game day decision maker almost.
Certainly was.
What changed your mind? Because we were supposed to be talking about the beloved American Psycho, and then you messaged us on Sunday and said, "Hey, we're changing this."
What led to this game-winning call?
Benji, once again, Benji, coming
Benji.
in clutch because he said, "Hey, have you ever heard of Proteus?" And I was like, "No, I haven't." He was like, "Well, Kyle knows it," and he did the same thing. He got me twice.
He did this. We can't trust him anymore.
I honestly can because this is the timeline. Is he told me like a week ago, hey, check out Proteus, and I was like, sure, why not? I recognized the cover. I was like, oh, I don't know that.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I don't remember this name. I saw that box art and I was like, I have seen this fucking box art in my life.
But I've never watched the movie until yesterday, I suppose, and I knew nothing about it, so I turned it on. So I saw that it was a Tubi link, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do this!" Because American Psycho is just not like very fun. It's part of the zeitgeist so much that I'm just like, can we get a good episode out of it? Maybe.
I would argue. I would argue that now's not the time to be doing American Psycho.
Yeah, good fucking point.
I think that the problem is, like, I still enjoy American Psycho when I watch it. You know, like, it's not a movie I put on often, but when I do watch it, I'm like, oh, this is fun. But I feel like we've gotten so close to being back to this, like, yuppie Reagan youth vibe. And like all
What
of
makes you say that?
and all the things that movie is like satirizing, and then you factor in that it's like right up there with Fight Club is one of those movies where the message gets lost on morons who make it their identity. So it's like 2025, I feel like American Psycho doesn't go down quite as smooth as it did when I watched it in 2004.
Good point. Very good point. So, we really got to give some flowers to Benji for this one. But here's the short version.
There's a conceit to that.
Yeah. And
I think this movie also is very boring at large chunks of it.
Absolutely boring. But here's the thing about it is that I knew nothing about the background of this until I was like, oh, it's a Tubi link. Fuck yeah, we're going to watch it. And I was like, oh, he pitched it to me as it's a fish monster who can shapeshift into humans on an abandoned oil rig. I was like, that sounds right up my alley. So I found the Tubi link. I was like, hey guys, last minute, let's change it up as long as nobody's watched American Psycho for this already. So
never even heard of American Psycho before, so this was perfect.
Exactly.
Watch the sequel before.
So I start watching Proteus, and I am blown away because this film is based on the 1983 novel Slimer by John Brosnan. And Slimer is one of those it's everywhere in the retro horror paperbacks group that I'm in. Like, people are always talking about it. And when you look at the cover of Slimer, and then you look at what Charlie Proteus, the monster in this, looks like at the end, it makes so much sense. It also really kind of crystallizes why this movie is kind of a mess, because it's taking the book and trying to sanitize it a little bit. Now, I have not read the book, but I know enough tertiarily that we can get into the reasonings why. But the second part about why this is such a great HMN pick is the director, Bob Keane. Did you look him up at all?
Dude, okay, I did.
It's wild, right?
And I'm very keen on Keane. 3 movies in 95. All of them are insane. Actually, 2 of the 3 of them are insane. This being one of them, and the other one being fucking with Meatloaf. Oh my god, what was it called? To Catch a Yeti.
Yeah.
Which, if you look at the cover, that's at least on Letterboxd. It looks like somebody made that made that poster 3 years ago as a meme. Does not feel like it's real at all. And I was shocked. So the 95 for Bob Keane was a crazy year, but he's got a couple other oddballs in there.
I don't think that you're really getting into the reason why he's HMN.
Have you looked at Did you look at his makeup work?
Oh, his makeup work is way more important than any of the fucking
2,
things I'm saying.
Nightbreed, Children of the Corn 2, Hellraiser 1, 2, and 3, Event Horizon, Dog Soldiers, Hardware, Candyman, Life Force, Krull, and Seminoid, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. You're right. I should.
That's what I was leading with. So, because I was.
You also forgot to mention Dungeons and Dragons from the year 2000, where he was the makeup effects artist.
Oh, well, I didn't care about the ones that weren't horror for our show, man.
But recently, even did you mention Hardware? He worked on Hardware
literally a month ago from when it dropped. Yeah. He was the makeup effects artist.
Hold on. There's one more movie that he directed, though, called Jim's Gift. A mysterious stranger presents a boy with a VCR that can play the past and the future. It's a children's movie. We got Jim's Gift. Sounds amazing, too.
Well,
Nick Frost is in Jim's Gift.
Oh, so you know it's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
In 1994, Nick Frost.
Yeah.
So getting getting Doug Bradley for this is very funny to me as well, because he's in full face makeup again, full face latex makeup for this, and he gets his 2 minutes on screen just like Hellraiser, and I'm like, Doug Bradley knows how to fucking work, because that man is like, well, I'm known as the guy who wears a mask. I will be in your movie for 5 minutes tops.
What do you think he does in the 6 hours of makeup chair? What is his go-to?
He definitely
thing?
listens to audiobooks. That man is a probably an
think so?
autobook-ophile. Yes, and it's something very smug. I love him. I cannot wait till the day that I get to meet him. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But anyway, so the first line of the movie, and we'll get into the plot. I promise I will be good about it. I wrote very good notes on it, and I will read them off instead of getting sidetracked. But my first favorite, which there are two really great lines in this movie. The first line is "cut the shit, where are the drugs?" And I think that really sets the pace for this fucking movie, right? Because it also...
It sets the pace for a movie that I don't think has much pacing.
No, it doesn't, because it takes 20 minutes to get to a monster. And the first time we see Charlie the monster, it's a uvula covered in goo. But I again, for the listeners, Kyle is not... He's a bit under the weather. I think he might be a little slimy.
I am.
So I'm going with negative outlook from False Hope Brewing, because... spoiler alert, the monster doesn't get killed in this Thing ripoff.
No.
And boy,
don't worry. I'm drinking liquid. I got liquid
Which is
death, so I'm not far off from what this is.
Yeah. This is, you mentioned it. Let's just address it for what it is. This is definitely a Thing ripoff.
Oh, absolutely.
With I would say my least favorite aspect of this movie, filled with these Evil Dead style POV shots.
You didn't like that?
I
thought it was really funny.
I could not figure out what the fuck was happening in most of those shots, because they have this like gel over the camera on top of the POV shot where I'm like,
Charlie
what is happening?
is a slimer.
That is true. He is a Slimer.
If you would have done your research,
Sorry, this film didn't have a Wikipedia page. That's usually about where my research starts and ends.
Oh, man. All right, well, then let's give the plot synopsis for our dear listeners so that they can get kind of the Cliff's Notes of what this is about without having to watch an hour and 20 minutes of it. So there are 5 heroin smugglers that their ship blows up, burns down, whatever, and they find an abandoned oil rig. As they explore it, they realize that it is being used, or was being used, for genetic experimentation. And I have a note that says, I think you can guess where this is going. We've already given it away. It's a shape-shifting synthetic life form who... we find out much later, thanks to Dr. Shelley, the very terrible Russian accented scientist, gives this whole exposition posthumously via a videotape that one of the drug smugglers watches. What they had been doing on this oil rig was they created synthetic DNA. They injected it into a shark, named it Charlie, and then Charlie seemingly died until they realized that Charlie was actually consuming people who he could then he could transform into them. But there are 2 problems with Charlie. One is that Charlie is always fighting his consumed humans because they're kind of still inside him, and they're trying to fight him for control of the body. They never succeed for more than a couple minutes of exposition. His other problem is heroin. He loves some fucking heroin. What are the odds that the heroin smugglers find this oil rig? And they've also got a little fanny pack full of fucking heroin. The drug smugglers stock up on a surprising amount of automatic weapons on board. They eat some possibly rotten food. And then Paul becomes Proteus's first victim in a very Evil Dead 2 inspired scene. They run around the oil rig looking for Paul, who is one of the women's boyfriends, and she screams his name a bunch. It's very annoying. This movie is
a long time.
Yeah, there's a lot of annoying screaming in this movie, and it's not like I'm in pain. It's like, Paul, where are you, Paul? Mm-hmm. Very, very.
Yeah, not since Poltergeist 3
have we had
have we heard someone's name yelled so much in a runtime of a movie.
Yeah.
It actually the character even addresses it at some point in time. There is a moment
they're
where
like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he's like, would you get her to stop screaming?
Yeah, I think that was
so everybody's annoyed.
Alex, I think, is the one that he's the muscle-bound Australian man.
Yeah, Craig Fairbrass.
Yeah, which is fake. That sounds like a fake-ass name.
Crazy name.
So they have guns. They're running around trying to find Paul, and they hear him like they they hear him behind a door. They can't get the door open, and they're like jangling on it, and then Dr. Shelley, they call me Dr. Shelley, which he's, you know, like if you ever want to know what, who's the guy, David Harbour that plays Red Guardian in the MCU. When they were like, when the MCU directors or board of directors were like, hey, you need to do a shitty Russian accent. Watch Proteus 1995. That's where you're getting your accent. He gives a little bit of vague exposition, and then he locks the door. And they're like, fuck this. They shoot the door open, only to find another scientist who shows up. And she begins, and they find out that that's where you first see that Charlie can only sometimes control his victims' psyches that are inside of him. But she's very visibly distraught. She has this demonic voice doubling thing that goes on. And then she proceeds to throw Alex, who is easily 240 pounds of pure fucking muscle, through a glass wall, but no one's really freaking out just yet. So she runs off. She actually doesn't run off. She kind of just hobbles off. And then Paul's girlfriend, Rachel, she kind of is like, she points her gun at this doctor and is like, fuck it, why? And so she just like goes to check on Alex. They pick Alex up, and then this mercenary named Buckley shows up, and you think, oh, he's going to give more exposition. He's going to help them. Nope, it's Charlie. And so they get their first kind of look at what Charlie can do, and they shoot him. He runs away. Blah blah blah. But during this altercation, Rachel gets smacked across the room, so she's knocked out. They take her to the infirmary, and while she's in the infirmary, that little gross gooey uvula plops itself into her mouth, and she gets
so yucky.
slimed, and then she's fine. So the slime gets like sucked back up somehow. She comes on to this other guy, Eric, who is nodding off because he shot up some of the heroin, I believe. And then she's like, no, it's not me. It's the monster. And he's like, you're acting weird. I'm going to go get the others. And she's like, no. And then she absorbs him. So it's now basically down to Alex. Is Linda the other one?
That sounds right.
Whatever. It doesn't fucking matter.
No, Linda. I'm sorry. I was thinking
Rachel's been consumed. So Alex and Linda watch this whole exposition tape from Dr. Shelley. He's explaining that how they made this synthetic DNA shark creature who then ate everybody. He's like, and I know that we cannot kill him, so I may as well be consumed by him and be with the others, which is not a smart idea. I wouldn't want to be immortal, but I'm also not a mad scientist.
You never will be with that attitude, Scott.
The best thing about this exposition is they explain Charlie's one weakness: heroin. As I said, heroin. Alex shoots Rachel, just pisses her off, and we get to see kind of some of this. We get to see some creature feature stuff. But I wonder if do you guys know, or were you wondering if there is some better cut of this? Because it seems to me like a lot of the cuts were short. They were fast, and I'm like, the director did monster movie makeup. I know that there's more in the canister here.
I read somewhere that this was made for TV. I don't remember where
that was not. I think that you're confusing this with Lords of the Deep, which came up after this immediately on Tubi, which was a made-for-TV movie, which is an almost identical premise.
Okay,
I also think that looking at the rest of Bob Keen's career, the few films he did direct, a lot of them are direct to TV, including To Catch a Yeti and Jim's Gift. And a few others, but no, this one is not listed as a TV movie on IMDb.
I think there must have been a different cut, because then also the two companies that came together to make this ended up splitting after this. Yeah. So I just wonder if this was just a mess of a movie that is
you watched
missing
it, you know it's a mess
bobs.
of a movie.
Yeah. I wonder if, makes me curious. It didn't feel like it had all its pieces, and then the pieces that it did have felt really stretched for not great reasons or no reason at all.
I just wish that we got some more gooey monster fun. But we Paul. So Paul shows up. It's very obvious. So Paul was Linda's boyfriend, I guess, not Rachel's. My bad. Paul shows up and he's like, Linda, it's me. Where's the heroin? I mean, I love that this movie exists because I guess that like in the book, which I have not read, but I read a little bit of the comparison of the book to the movie. So Alex, who turns out to be an undercover DEA agent who's been doing a sting on the other 4 drug smugglers for months. He's like, I'm trying to save you, Linda. And she's like, how can I trust you? And he's like, I know that we're the only 2 ones who aren't Charlie, who have not been consumed by Charlie. So Paul shows up and he's like, where's the drugs? But in the book, Alex is like an asshole, and he, I believe, gets Charlie addicted to heroin. It wasn't like the scientists did it by accident or on purpose or whatnot. It's like it makes more sense in the book because they're like, oh, we got all this heroin, and then they feed it to the monster. What doesn't matter. Paul gets a grenade in his shirt, and he's like, oh, what's this? And then explodes. And then they go back to burn the body. It has sucked its way into a vent, only for Mr. Brinkstone, who is played by the inimitable Doug Bradley. He shows up with a bunch more mercenaries who are just cannon fodder. But he also surprisingly shows up with an explosive, a 15-minute explosive that Charlie, Proteus, and Dr. Shelley, Proteus as Dr. Shelley, shows up and attacks the mercenaries. I'm wondering if the guy who got his throat slit didn't become immortal, because that would be the way that I would want to go, because literally everyone dies in this movie, even though there's a sort of happy ending, but not really. If I'm the guy whose neck is bleeding out and I'm not getting consumed by Charlie, that's the way I want to go. Just, FYI, if you are Charlie out there listening, don't just slit my throat. Brinkstone gets...
But it's got to be with the tentacle.
Yeah,
do it with the tentacle, so it's at least still
it
cool.
looks sick. The worst part of this, the worst kill in this movie, the most horrific kill in this movie is Brinkstone, who gets what looks like a massive earthworm shoved down his throat, and he does have the chance to hit that explosive, that charger, and so they get 15 minutes on the ship. It's more like 6 or 7 minutes of screen time to show Charlie in his full form, which is literally like a 15-foot tall mutated shark / human monstrosity, and it's screaming so cool. with all these different voices of the creature, of the people it's consumed. That's really the payoff of this movie, and
that's what you're here for.
Yes,
you sit through a lot to get to that moment.
Yeah, yeah. But the other best line of the movie comes when Charlie is like, "Give me the fucking drugs," and Charlie says, "I am the future. I am like the perfect evolution." And Alex, in his best Australian, because he has Australian, with his thickest Australian accent, he goes, "You're a fucking fish with a drug habit." And then he tries to burn him.
Yeah, dude. Charlie's high as a kite, saying he's the king of the world.
Give me the drugs. Give me the heroin.
It was all practical effects too. By the way, this is not just sort of like a Sci-Fi Channel animated monster. This thing rips.
Yeah, it's really, really sick looking. It's too bad we don't have 30 minutes of the monster. We instead have 5.
Yeah,
but the explosion rocks the oil rig. Somehow Alex and Linda make their way onto a helicopter, and one of Brinkstone's mercenaries flies them off, only to show us at the very end that it is Charlie. That's why I have a negative outlook, because everyone dies and Charlie gets away to infect the entire human race.
And now the war on drugs continues.
It never ends, Kyle.
Linda, it's me, Paul. Where's the drugs?
Where's the drugs? What kind of drugs, Paul? This was I just remember the cover. I did not know anything about this one. I got it confused with Prophecy when I was a kid in the movie. You know, they're both peas. They were probably next to each other.
They
have a round
video store.
and it's
They
just,
got
You know, Prophecy is a sicker cover. I mean, and it's also what, like,
Prophecy's cover
15 years older than this movie. So this movie really took a lot from other movies for itself.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. But and it gave us a nice monster. I'd love some sort of figure of this monster.
That would be pretty cool.
I agree.
Tonight, turn down the noise of the day and focus on the rest with AGZ, the nightly drink for winding down and resting up. New from AG1. AGZ supports your body's natural sleep cycle with clinically studied key herbs, adaptogens, and minerals in amounts supported by research. And no melatonin, helping you wake feeling rested. Wind down, rest up with AGZ. Learn more at drinkagz.com.
Put down that smartphone and listen to me. I'm Matthew Milligan, professional musician and lifelong Weird Al fan. Each week, I'm joined by professional podcaster and close personal friend Matt Kelly to take a dive off the deep end into the vast career of pop culture icon Weird Al Yankovic on our show, Weird Algorithm. Along with some very special guests from the worlds of music and comedy, we tackle every song, every television appearance, and every bit of sketch comedy Al has produced in chronological order, covering the good old days of My Bologna and Eat It, the fun zone of tacky and white and nerdy, and everything in between. As we go, we're ranking the songs, albums, and music videos in the hopes of creating the ultimate guide to a career bigger than the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota. So the next time you're having one of those days, stuck in a traffic jam, wondering why does this always happen to me, just kick off your sneakers and stick around for a while because we've got it all on Weird Algorithm, available wherever you get your podcasts. And now you know. Was that enough references?
Are you a fan of young adult novels?
Have you ever wondered the stories behind the people who wrote your favorite young adult novels?
Then join author Eric J. Brown
And Alyssa Lube of Netflix's The Circle.
every other Tuesday on YAOK.
Available on all podcasting apps.
Woo!
We're making an ad.
Napping
Yeah.
ad.
This is where I think if we're doing it right, Alec Baldwin comes in. He says a couple things. He listens to the podcast every week. Has he been canceled? Wait, is Alec Baldwin the one who killed somebody? I hear that Gary Sinise is free.
Oh, okay, great.
He hasn't worked since 2020.
So, what would be the script that we would have Gary Sinise say for the Napping Through Happy Hour podcast?
Listen to this damn show. Damn it.
The Napping Through Happy Hour podcast brought to you by Geekscape.
Real life, real drama, real time.
I'm Gary Sinise.
That's the ad. That's the ad. That's the ad.
Looking for a new seasonal anime? Want to know what new anime music is out there? Looking to add a new waifu or husbando to the list? Or are you just looking for a modern or classic anime to add to your plan to watch list? My name is Nick and I run the Waifus and Weeaboos podcast, and you can check me out on geekscape.net.
Well, Scott, if you had friends over to watch this movie, what else would you watch with it?
I don't know if they'd be friends afterwards, but I kind of think that I'd go with Deep Star 6 because it feels...
God damn it!
Nice.
You can have my other one if you want.
No, go for it. It's fine.
Deep Star 6. He's not mad. Not much anyway.
Yeah. I mean, like, you could go with Deep Rising.
No, it's fine. Well, that was my plan B, but
Fuck,
sure.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, Deep Star 6 makes the most sense. It hits this similar vibe where it's like, all right, we're sitting through a lot
Of dumb shit.
of
Yeah,
characters just talking, but it's all worth it when you see this like great full shot of this creature where you're just like, holy shit, was this worth the wait? Like,
Although you might still be
especially
questioning,
when you watch on
like,
Tubi where the wait is longer with commercials.
oh, that's Matt's fault. You just watch it on your computer, no commercials, and you can fast forward 30 seconds a bunch, which is how I finished this movie in under an hour, and still got the plot synopsis.
This was a 2-hour
Oh my,
experience.
that sounds
for old Matt
horrific.
Kelly.
my guy.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a fun 2 hours.
No, and I'm sorry for that
Fine,
one.
Deep Rising. I'm going to take it before Kyle talks. All right, Kyle, go.
Deep Rising people. No, I'm gonna go with the other Harry Adam Knight or John Brosnan, Brosnan, excuse me, book screenplay that we've talked about on the show plenty, and that's Carnosaur. I'm just gonna do
Solid.
a double feature there of the novels. So gotta go Carnosaur.
I love it. Wait, so is
right.
Harry Adam Knight the guy who wrote Slimer under Alex Brosnan's?
Under
I don't know. That guy had like 3 pseudonyms.
or John Brosnan is the real name he wrote as Harry Adam Knight.
All right. Well, that also explains why like a lot of people put Slimer and the fungus, which I have the fungus as Death Spore because it's a much cooler book title. That's in my collection though.
Death Spore.
Same book, just reissued.
If you love hearing these conversations, and boy,
We know you
why
do.
wouldn't you?
You must.
Go to patreon.com/HMM podcast to hear even more of these conversations. Shoot us an email at hmmpodcast@gmail.com if you want to be part of our newsletter. Visit our website, hmmpodcast.com, to see our entire back catalog. Visit our online shop at hmnpodcast.dashery.com. And you get to meet me if you're in Scranton on November 7th or 8th when I'll be at Creature Feature Weekend. Do it all up, guys. It's going to be an absolute blast. We are just trucking around to the end of 2025 here at Horror Movie Night. And now the last part of the show. Scott, what is something that you read, watched, listened to, etc. that you want to talk about?
I just wanted to mention that I have been watching, I have not yet finished, but I have been watching Alien Earth. And it's really good. It's also really long. The episodes just feel so, they're like movies. I'm only on episode 4, and I've heard that episode 5 is like basically the best Alien movie since Alien. So I'm really waiting for that.
We started that show with Barb's oldest because he loves xenomorphs. Mm-hmm. And I haven't gotten past episode 2 because it is, like you said, every episode feels like such a long commitment.
It's a slog.
And like the reality is it's like, I think it's almost too high concept sci-fi for a 10-year-old's attention. Yeah, like he's only invested when there's an alien moment, and then he's like completely out after that.
Episode
So
3
I think I
has
just need
a
to
lot
start
of the
from
xenomorph.
scratch.
I mean, that is one cool thing. But it's I particularly enjoy the fact that it has 4 kinds of aliens in it, and it's a really
cool. Yeah, no, the setup alone is really dope. I think we just need to start from scratch without a 10-year-old and just binge it when it's all done, maybe later on. I'm going to give a very quick shout out to a movie that I feel like inevitably we're going to have to cover, but I'd never seen it before. I saw that it had dropped on Peacock. I knew it was divisive. I figured I've seen every other film in this franchise. I don't know how I've never seen this one. And I watched Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Oh, you really have never watched Halloween 2? Interesting.
I've never watched Halloween 2. And I'm going to say that I'm part of the group of people who think that's better than the first Rob Zombie Halloween movie.
Wait,
it's still bad.
I was about to say, like, I'm in that group too. I didn't think that was that small of a group because, like, I don't like Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween. But I felt like...
No, Rob Zombie's Halloween is a objectively bad movie.
Man, the 1-star reviews are just fucking pouring in now.
Look, here's my hot take. Are you ready for this one?
To us.
I think Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is the best part 2 of any Halloween franchise we've gotten. I would take this over the original part 2, and I would take this over Halloween Kills.
Now that is a hot take, and that's very interesting. I can tell you that I would take it over Halloween Kills any day because I fucking hated Halloween Kills.
Yeah, Halloween Kills is towards the bottom of the list.
I would say Halloween Kills is worse than 6. Like, it is the worst.
Wow.
I will watch literally...
Bold.
I will watch any other movie in the series twice before I watch back to back. I will watch it 2 times in a row, one sitting, before I sit my ass down and watch even 10 minutes of Halloween Kills. I hate it.
Brian and I were talking about this literally today. We had lunch, and past host Brian Kelly, my brother, and he was like, I rewatched that movie the other day. He's like, don't try to remake the Monsters on Mulberry Street Twilight Zone episode with Michael Myers. It's a bad idea. And it's like, that is what that movie
It's an interesting
is.
take.
It's the other thing that, like, you and I, Scott, went off when it finally came out, but like Halloween Ends is so good, which I know is a take that
Now,
people can't stand.
I don't want to say it's so good. It's better than people gave it credit for, is what I will say.
It's better than people gave it credit for, but the biggest thing that it highlights is how unnecessary Halloween Kills is.
It's
like
worthless.
Not only is that movie bad, but like 90% of that movie is retconned or like not that important when you get to Halloween Ends. But yeah, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, because I also rewatched the original Halloween 2, which I have mixed feelings about. I just rewatching Halloween 2, you get some good kills and you obviously get some iconic nudity. But the pacing of that movie is just fucking dog shit compared.
I can't deal with it.
Compared to the original movie, where like this one, it's like at least it's just like fun. It's a little bit more fun to me. I feel like it does this cool thing where you get what you expect part 2 of these franchises to be, because it starts in a hospital, but then we do that time jump to be like, that didn't happen. These are nightmares that she's having. It's been a year. And then like the movie kind of goes from that point. And I think the movie's much more enjoyable after those hospital scenes.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was, I'm not sitting here saying it's in my top 5 or anything, but like for a movie that I think often gets placed pretty low,
Sure, yeah.
I would put it in the middle. I would say that it is definitively better than Halloween Kills. It's better than Halloween 6. It's better than Halloween Resurrection, and it's better than Rob Zombie Halloween for me. So I was pleasantly surprised. I put it off for years, hearing that it was not a particularly good movie, and I had fun.
You know
with
what?
it.
You have me on the fence about rewatching it this month. But I think I'm just gonna wait until you pick it, probably next year.
Yeah, eventually we're gonna
just
have
pick
to
it
do
next
it,
Halloween.
and I'd much rather
Whatever. I don't
watch
wanna
that
have to watch
than
it twice, though.
Yeah. No, understandably.
I haven't watched that since the morning of my wedding. That was the last time I watched Halloween 2.
What a wedding movie.
Yeah, nothing
morning
makes
of my
me
wedding.
feel more romantic than Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
I don't know why. I don't remember why. I
Did it
just
help
put
your
it on
nerves?
to
That's
just
all I
have
ask.
it on.
That's like taking fucking notes.
I have a picture. I have a picture of me in my wedding socks and Malcolm McDowell's face just right on the
devil's
TV
eyes.
at my dad's house.
All right, well, Kyle, besides
The devil's toes.
besides watching Halloween 2 on your wedding day, what have you watched, listened to, read that you want to talk about?
I've been thumbing through the Shirley Jackson collection of short stories. It's released as The Lottery, which obviously is probably Jackson's most famous short. I had never visited really any of Jackson's other work, and it's fantastic. I mean, there is this lovely way of and like not all of it's horror. Like honestly, most of it that I've gotten to isn't. I'm like a third through the book, but there's that's about 15 shorts already. I'm about and it's given me a good idea of Jackson's writing style. And there's this thing about describing the mundane and having the mundane also have other layers to it, usually just 1 or 2 layers in the shorts, but like there's this one, My Life with R.D. Macy, and it's just this woman describing her first 3 days of taking a job at Macy's and what it is. It's but the lines are written in the way that you are getting sort of trained at Macy's. So everything has a code, everything has like an abbreviation or a number. She has a number, the departments have a number, everything has a number, and it keeps building and building until on the second day she's trying to maneuver through her day. Like, and it's not told to us as if it's from her POV. So it's not told to us as like, and now she's having this really terrible day. It's told to us as like, this is how she's dealing with it. And we get to draw from it how mundane and also dehumanizing it all is when on the third day she walks out after buying stockings with her own money because she tore them And she was, it's just like it's really beautiful and really gives you a lot to chew on without leading you to that meal. Really been enjoying it. And I mean, that's The Lottery does that. The Lottery is, I think that's why The Lottery is such an incredible short story and why we talk about it so much. But it's really nice to see it sort of sometimes out of genre, just dealing with like more mundane things or like kind of eerie things or challenging things, but they're only as challenging and as weird as you make them. So I've been enjoying reading that. It's been really nice. To sit and read, like if I have 5 minutes, I'd read a short. It's been nice, especially when things are just can be so busy and you don't feel like you have time to do all those things. Get a fucking short story book. It's been really great.
Well, also been really great recording Horror Movie Night with you two gents, and I hope that everybody enjoys listening as much as we enjoy recording. And the best way to let us know is by rating and reviewing on your favorite podcasting app and subscribing. And if you subscribe, next week you'll get to find out what we're talking about. So stay tuned for more Horror Movie Night. I'm just realizing I don't know how to pronounce this. Proteus. Got it.
Put down that smartphone and listen to me. I'm Matthew Milligan, professional musician and lifelong Weird Al fan. Each week, I'm joined by professional podcaster and close personal friend Matt Kelly to take a dive off the deep end into the vast career of pop culture icon Weird Al Yankovic on our show, Weird Algorithm. Along with some very special guests from the worlds of music and comedy, we tackle every song, every television appearance, and every bit of sketch comedy Al has produced in chronological order, covering the good old days of My Bologna and Eat It, the fun zone of tacky and white and nerdy, and everything in between. As we go, we're ranking the songs, albums, and music videos in the hopes of creating the ultimate guide to a career bigger than the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota. So the next time you're having one of those days, stuck in a traffic jam, wondering why does this always happen to me, just kick off your sneakers and stick around for a while because we've got it all on Weird Algorithm, available wherever you get your podcasts. And now you know. Was that enough references?
Are you a fan of young adult novels?
Have you ever wondered the stories behind the people who wrote your favorite young adult novels?
Then join author Eric J. Brown
And Alyssa Lube of Netflix's The Circle.
every other Tuesday on YAOK.
Available on all podcasting apps.
Woo!
We're making an ad.
Napping ad.
This is where I think if we're doing it right, Alec Baldwin comes in. He says a couple things. He listens to the podcast every week. Has he been canceled? Wait, is Alec Baldwin the one who killed somebody? I hear that Gary Sinise is free.
Oh, okay, great.
He hasn't worked since 2020.
So, what would be the script that we would have Gary Sinise say for the Napping Through Happy Hour podcast?
Listen to this damn show. Damn it.
The Napping Through Happy Hour podcast brought to you by Geekscape. Real
life, real drama, real time.
I'm Gary Sinise.
That's the ad. That's the ad. That's the ad.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.